Geometry section 1.6 is discussing about two-dimensional figures, and we're dealing with basically flat objects. Okay, next section we're going to be talking about three-dimension, so 3D figures. But right now we're just dealing with flat surfaces, and there's certain things that we have to go over. The first one is convex and concave. And basically, convex is a polygon that, here's the test for a convex. Sorry, let me rewrite this. The test for a convex versus a concave is that a convex, if I wrote a line like this, if I put a line on each one, okay, it would not, none of it would enter the actual inside of the shape. These are most polygons, okay? So they don't enter at all. Basically, they don't cave in. But a concave, if you see, if I put a line here, you see how it enters on the inside, and that's the basic test to decide whether or not it's concave. If I extend any of the lines, let's say I just redraw the lines and I extend all of them. If it doesn't enter the middle, it's convex. That means it's a normal polygon. If it does enter the middle, then it's concave, okay? When we're dealing with regular polygons, when you hear the term regular, there's some things that you automatically need to know. The first one is that it's convex. So a regular polygon, no matter what, if I do the test, as you can see, if I extend all of them, none of them will enter the inside of the polygon. The next thing is they have congruent sides, so that means all sides of a polygon are congruent, and also all angles are congruent. So they're convex, they have congruent angles and congruent sides. Please don't forget to write this down either before or after I write, and as well as your vocabulary. Okay, here we're going to be dealing with certain formulas. If you look on page 51, that's an important one, and you'll be able to put that on your flipper. But your formulas on page 51, there's certain terminologies that you need to make sure definitely you understand. The first one is perimeter. When you hear the term perimeter, that's the sum of all sides. So basically, if you find a side, you have to just add them all up, and that gives you the perimeter. It's the same thing as a circumference, but except the circumference is applied to a circle. So basically, the circumference is the perimeter of a circle. But because a circle doesn't have edges, we call it circumference because the equations for circles always include pi. Okay? So a circumference is the length around a circle, and that equation is c equals 2 pi r. So if you look on page 51, you'll be able to find the perimeter, and then you'll be able to find the circumference. Okay, the last one that they talk about is the area. The area is basically the space inside it. So if I were to draw a square, okay, and let's say I put in 1 inch, the area of this would be 4. Okay, let's say each one is 1 inch. This would be 4 inches. As opposed to the perimeter, that's just labeling the outside. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the perimeter would be 8, but the area would be 4. It's the measurement on the inside. So we have a couple of, we have one example for you actually. This one is asking us to find the perimeter and the area. Now, in order for you to find this, you need to go again on page 51. It has all the equations on there, so you're going to need to know that, and you will use that tomorrow. In the area of a rectangle, it says, or a rectangle is length times width. Okay? Because it's multiplication, it doesn't matter which one I label length and which one I label width. So I will just put 4 centimeters times 2 centimeters. And this is area. This gives me 4 times 2, which is 8 centimeters. And you see how there's 2 centimeters? So because there's 2, I'm putting 8 centimeters squared. Okay? Also, because this is a rectangle, since this is 2 centimeters, this is also 2. And since this is 4, and this is also 4. And the perimeter is when I'm adding all of the sides. So it would be 2 centimeters plus 2 centimeters plus 4 centimeters plus 4 centimeters. This will give me a total of 2, 4, 8, 12. 12 centimeters. Because I'm not multiplying any centimeters, I don't put squared like I do this one, or to the power 4. When I'm just adding, I just leave centimeters. So this is my perimeter, 12 centimeters, and my area is 8 centimeters squared. The other one is a circle. They have quite different, not quite, but they just have a different equation, okay? And the area of a circle is 2 pi r, sorry, the circumference, which is what we went over last time. This is the perimeter. So circumference, the same thing as perimeter for circles. And this r, this is called the radius, okay? If they give you diameter, then you just split that in half, but this is radius, and this, and then the diameter is the whole thing. So our radius would be 2 pi times 4, which would be 8 pi. Now, you can multiply pi in your calculator is 3.14. You can multiply 8 times pi, or you can just leave it as 8 pi. Okay? The area is pi r squared. So basically, I just take 4, okay? 4 times, so 4 squared pi. Is 4 times 4 is 16 pi, leaving this my answer. So again, I can use my calculator and do 16 times 3.14 or 8 times 3.14, or I can just leave my answer in this. So your last problem is to do page, your first and last, is to do page 51, number 3 and 4. So page 51, number 3 and 4, and go ahead and bring that in tomorrow for class.